guys, good morning. We are live from Split, Croatia. Today we are taking you to
Klis Fortress.
Klis Fortress. This is actually where they filmed a Game of the Thrones scene. Amazing look. It is very windy out here today. The fortress is right up on this hill up here, right behind me. We're gonna take y'all in, give y'all some history.
Yeah.
Come on with us. See how windy it is up here. High elevation. Fortress right here. Alright, we just entered the main gate, that main entrance right there that the Venetians built in the 17th century. High above Split, Croatia, where the mountains rise sharply from the sea, Klis Fortress stretches along a narrow ridge of stone. From up here, you see everything: the Adriatic coastline, the islands offshore, and the only natural pass between the coast and the inland valleys. That pass made this place priceless. The first fortifications were built by ancient Aryan tribes. The Romans later strengthened it using Klis to help protect nearby Diocletian's palace, the retirement palace of a Roman emperor that would later become the heart of Split. Klis became legendary in the 1500s. At that time, the Ottoman Empire was expanding westward. Their army was one of the strongest in the world. Cities across Eastern Europe fell. Klis did not fall easily. For more than 25 years, Croatian defenders resisted repeated Ottoman sieges. They were heavily outnumbered, supplies ran low, reinforcements were rare. Still, they held the line. In 1537, after relentless attacks, the Ottomans finally captured the fortress. But even then, Klis remained a contested stronghold. But if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know it as Meereen. In Season 4 of Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen stands right here after conquering the Great Pyramid and freeing thousands of slaves. These massive stone walls and cliffside views is exactly why HBO chose it. These outer walls and streets are the real deal. You're literally standing where the mother of dragons ruled. Ooh, this wind up here is crazy. Real life Game of Thrones. Less than a century later, during wars between Venice and the Ottomans, the fortress changed hands again. The Venetians rebuilt, reinforced it, thickening the walls and adapting it for cannons and gunpowder. What you see today isn't just a medieval castle. It is a fortress designed for early modern warfare. For centuries, this ridge marked the front line between empires, between East and West, between competing religions and cultures. By the time of World War I and World War II, warfare had changed. Battles were fought with artillery, tanks, and aircraft. Old stone fortresses like Klis were no longer primary military strongholds. And during the breakup of Yugoslavia in the 1990s, While the wider region saw tension and strategic positioning, Klis itself stood mostly as a historical monument, no longer a frontline defense. Its greatest battles were centuries behind it. Today, the fortress is quiet. The wind moves through the stone corridors where soldiers once stood guard. The same view that once signaled danger now draws travelers from all over the world. Dragons may have flown here on the screen in the Game of Thrones, but long before television, this fortress witnessed real sieges, real empires, and real turning points in European history. For over 2,000 years, Klis has stood above the storm, watching, waiting, holding the line.